Good evening. This is a test transmission from Good evening. This is VK2WI. Tonight's news broadcast from Amateur Radio New South Wales originates from the VK2WI facilities at Dural, Sydney, which is staffed by the volunteers of our broadcast team. Transmissions this evening are being made on frequencies between 160 metres and 23 centimetres. The announcer will advise on the transmitter status. In addition, automated relays will carry the broadcast through some regional VHF and UHF repeaters, and we thank the custodians of these systems for making the service available. Now, here are your announcer and engineer with this evening's news.
And a very good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. Your announcer this evening is Steve, VK2FSLC, ably assisted by Peter, VK2EMU as engineer. No visitors here at Dural this evening. The weather here is cold and it's varying between about 9.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's just a little bit wrong. Anyway, it's roughly about 10 degrees outside at the moment. Rainfall at the VK2WI site over the last week was 2 millimetres. And our transmitter status is A-OK, and I understand that we had a problem occurred late in this morning's news bulletin on 40 metres AM when the antenna halyard broke due to the wind. It has been restored this afternoon.
This is a news broadcast from VK2WI. March 2010 marked 100 years of the WIA, the world's oldest amateur radio society. It was started in 1910 as a result of a meeting held in Sydney by a group of experimenters seeking a better deal. This is VK2WI. We now continue with this evening's news.
And in the news from Amateur Radio New South Wales for this week. At VK2WI Dural, the weekly licence upgrade class and library are back to normal operations tomorrow, Monday the 18th of June. The next foundation course and assessment weekend at VK2WI is next month on the 14th and 15th of July. Inquiries are best made by email to education@arnsw.org.au. This morning saw the ARNSW Antenna Day here at Dural with a number of talks and practical demonstrations. A well-attended day, 55 signed the visitors book. There were 6 talks given, and a range of attendees from beyond the Sydney region also attended. The next event at VK2WI Dural will be the Trash and Treasure and Radio Experimenters Group meeting on Sunday the 29th of July. ARNSW Radio Experimenters Group. This Tuesday evening, the 19th, the ARNSW Radio Experimenters Group will be holding their monthly net. The net starts at 8 p.m. on the Dural 2-metre repeater, 147.000 megahertz, and then at about 8:30 p.m. will transfer over to HF. Depending upon conditions, the net may be either on either 80 or 40 metres. The 80-metre frequency is 3686.4 kilohertz, and the 40-metre frequency is 7159 kilohertz. As well as store-bought equipment, participants are encouraged to use home-brewed equipment on AM, DSB and SSB. So for those interested in building their own equipment, experimenting with radios, or just looking for a new aspect of amateur radio, then join the net. 73's from Peter, VK2EMU, Coordinator, ARNSW Radio Experimenters Group. US licence exams in Sydney. If you are interested in obtaining a US amateur licence, the Sydney-based ARRL volunteer examiner team are conducting an assessment session on Sunday the 1st of July at 16 Miles Street in the Bankstown Aerodrome area or airport area, starting at 8 a.m. The examinations will use the new technical question pool. Candidates for higher level licenses need to do all the papers up to the level they desire, but all papers are included in the single affordable session fee. Information and forms for questions and bookings can be found on the new website, which is VEXAMS.com. That was submitted by Julian, VK2WIJS. And now we come up to the weekly solar and geophysical report. This is for the period from the 8th to the 14th of June, and hopefully you've got your book ruled up ready to go. And the dates across the column should be 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th. The 10 centimetre flux levels, 6.8, 6.7, 7.0, 7.0, 7.0, 7.1 and 7.2. The Fredericksburg Index, or AFR, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 7 and 6 estimated. The Australian Index, or AUS or AOS, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 0 and 3 estimated. The T Index, 6, minus 1, minus 6, 3, 4, 4 and 6. Solar flare activity was very low all week. Geomagnetic activity in the Australian region was quiet to unsettled levels on the 8th, then quiet for the rest of the week. F2 critical frequencies in the southern Australian region remained near predicted monthly values during local daylight times all week. However, later in the week, some enhancements were observed at local nighttime frequencies were enhanced by 25% on the 11th, 15% on the 13th, and 40% on the 14th. And now the forecast for the period from the 15th to the 21st of June. Solar activity expected to be very low. Geomagnetic activity is expected to be mostly be at quiet levels. Maximum usable frequencies, or MUFs, should remain near predicted monthly values, with some mild enhancements possible, especially during local night time. That data is courtesy of the Space Weather Services. And now the Solar Flux Index update, and here is the updated Solar Flux Index, or SFI, figures for this week. Having finished with May, the figures were maximum 6.7, average 7.1, maximum 7.7, with peak dates between the 24th and 31st of the month. Midway through June, the prediction so far is minimum 6.9, average 7.2, maximum 7.7, with peak dates between the 1st and the 4th and the 23rd to the 27th. And looking ahead for the predictions for July, minimum 6.9, average 7.2, maximum 7.5, with peak dates between the 16th and the 21st. Updates are thanks to Noel, VK2FUL, and if you look on our broadcast notes, there is a link to this activity.
VK2WI. To submit news for inclusion in these sessions, please email it to news@arnsw.org.au by the end of business on Friday. You can help us with presentation by writing your news item in the third person and limiting it to about one A4 page in an easily read font. This is VK2WI. We now continue with this evening's news. And now we have ARRL DX News. And starting off for this week, we have Vietnam 3W. JA0JHQ is active as
3W9NH from Hoi Nan until June 18. Activity is on the HF bands and possibly 6 metres using CW and FT8. This includes an entry in the All Asia DX CW contest. Algeria 7X Special Event Station 7X2 FIFA is active until the 15th of July during the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Sierra Leone 9L Mark KW4XJ is now active as 9L1YXJ from Freetown. He is generally active on 40 to 10 metres using FT8 and some CW. Taiwan BV Members of the Chinese Taipei Amateur Radio League are active with special call sign BV18FIFA until July 15 during the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Ireland. Members of the EIDX group are active as EJ0DXG from Little Salty Island, IOTA Europe 103 until the 18th of June as part of their All-Irish IOTA group's effort. Activity is on HF bands using CW, SSB and various digital modes. France. Special Event Station TM62GG is active from Mirashin, I think it's pronounced, on the 17th of June and 18th of June to commemorate the end of World War I. Solomon Islands, H4. JA1XGI will be active as H44XG from Honiara from June 21 through 27. Activity will be on 40, 30, 20, 17, 15 and 12 metres using CW and FT8 in the expedition mode. Republic of Korea. A large group of operators will be active as 6M6M from Yonghang Island, IOTA Asia 105, Grid Square PM37FG on June 16 and 17. Activity will be on 6 metres using CW, SSB and various digital modes. Thailand, HS. In celebration of the 50th anniversary of the IARU Region 3, members of the Radio Society of Thailand are active as HS50IARU until October 31st. Guam. JR3RIU will be active as WH2JA in the All Asian DXCW contest. Mexico. Look for Special Event Station 4A18FWC to be active until the 15th of July during the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Luxembourg, LX. A group of operators are active with special event call sign LX8SAR during the 2018 SAAR OLUX Friendship Meeting being held in Winston-Jage. Egypt, SU. Special Event Station SU18FWC will be active until 15 July during the FIFA World Cup 2018. Activity is on all HF bands using CW and SSB. European Russia. Special Event Station R400N for November is active until the 15th of July to celebrate 400 years since Novokustinsk city was founded. Brunei V8. Members of the Brunei Dar es Salaam Amateur Radio Association are active with Special Event Station V850 IARU until 31st of October to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the IARU Region 3. Canada VE. Members of the Rotarians for Amateur Radio and Friends will be active with special events station VE3R from the 20th to the 30th of June for the Rotary International Convention in Toronto. Falkland Islands VP8. Station VP8 HDM will be active on June 16th and 17th from the Historic Dockyard Museum in Stanley. IOTA South America 002. Activity will be on the HF bands using SSB and FT8. India VU. Members of the Bangalore Amateur Radio Club will be active with a special call sign VU18FIFA until July 16 during the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Cayman Islands ZF. Lawrence K8HTC will be active as ZF2LT from Grand Cayman Islands, IOTA North America 016 from June 18th through to the 24th. This weekend on the radio, the ARRL SSB Kids Day, All Asian DXCW Contest, the NCCC Ritty Sprint, the NCCC CW Sprint, the SMERC Contest, Ukrainian DX Classic Ritty Contest, International Museums Weekend, the BPSK63 Contest, the IARU Region 150 MHz Contest, the AGCW VHF UHF Contest, Stu Perry Top Band CW Challenge, West Virginia QSO Party, the Feldheld Sprint, and the WAB 50 MHz phone are all on this weekend. The Run for the Bacon QRP CW contest is scheduled for June 18. The CW Ops Mini CW test and phone frame are scheduled for June 20th, and the ARRL International Grid Chase continues throughout 2018. And now we have Wyson News. A new event to the Wyson calendar was the GWT, or Glow Worm Tunnel, trail running weekend at Newlands, north of Lithgow, this weekend. The 30th annual Nav Shield Bush Navigation Contest is on June 23 and 24. A course is set out in a secret location approximately 2 hours from Sydney. The VHMDX Barrington SARX, or Search and Rescue Exercise, is on the 14th to the 16th of September. The Wyson website is at nsw.wicen.org.au. It includes membership information, a web contact form, as well as other contact details and useful links. Logging in gives members access to future coming events and various manuals. Facebook users will find a new official Wyson page and an informal national Wyson group. Wyson Northern Rivers holds a weekly net on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. local time on the Loosemore repeater, VK2RSC, on 146.800 MHz, requiring a 123 Hz tone. Listen for the call sign VK2WIR. The Wyson Mid-North Coast region meets at 3:30 p.m. on the first Saturday of the month at the SES HQ, Central Road, Port Macquarie. The region is also running a HF net on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. now on the Maddens Plains 80 metre Wyson frequency of of 3600 kilohertz or 3.6 megahertz. WISET ACT is part of the Canberra Region Amateur Radio Club, supporting events in the ACT and Capital Country. This weekend was the SCSCC Bega Rally. Saturday the 21st of July is the BMSC Narooma Rally, and the Bateman's Bay Rally is on August the 11th. See the WISET and events page on www.carc.ampr.org. WISET Victoria has a net on 3600 kilohertz each Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. local time. For details of future events, visit their website, which is at vic.wicen.org.au. That was submitted by Julian, VK2WIJS, on behalf of the WISET New South Wales State Management Committee.
WI. For voice contact with Amateur Radio New South Wales, telephone 02 9651 1490, which will take you to our message bank. For written contact, write to PO Box 6044, Dural Delivery Centre, New South Wales 2158, or email office@arnsw.org.au. This is VK2WI. We now continue with this evening's news.
And next we have club news, and we start this week with news from the Oxley Region Amateur Radio Club. Last weekend was the Oxley Region Amateur Radio Club's very successful annual field day weekend. There were 103 registrations, including strong contingents from Newcastle, Sydney and the far north coast. The disposals were very popular, with lots of bargains for everyone. The free separate HF, VHF and UHF digital data and voice on-air demonstrations created a lot of interest. Peter, VK2EVB from Coffs Harbour, set up his 3D printer as part of his display, which included his 3D printed cases for his BITX or BITX 4040 QRP HF SSB transceiver. The fox hunting was keenly contested, with Gerard, VK2IO, the fox hunt champion, and Chris, VK2YMW, the runner-up. The trade displays were popular. The kitchen volunteers were kept busy throughout the weekend. A new record was set for the consumption of bacon and egg sandwiches this year. The field day dinner was particularly enjoyable. A full report in words and pictures will appear in the July issue of the club's bi-monthly newsletter, Oxtails. The next meeting of the club will be the July monthly meeting, general meeting, at 2 p.m. on Saturday the 7th of July in the SES building in Port Macquarie. Candidates for the Foundation, Standard and Advanced licences should contact the club via PO Box 712, Port Macquarie, New South Wales 2444 as soon as possible. The next training courses and assessments for the Advanced, Standard and Foundation licences will run when sufficient candidates have registered. The club conducts 2 nets each week. The midweek net starts at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday nights, and the weekend net takes place at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Both nets are on the VK2RMP 2-metre repeater, which is on 146.700 megahertz. This repeater requires a 91.5 hertz sub-audible tone for access. For more information about the club, visit the club's website, which is orarc.org. The site contains a wealth of amateur radio items in addition to the club information. The May 2018 edition of the club's bi-monthly newsletter, Oxtails, along with past issues, can be viewed on the website. And that was submitted by Henry, VK2WI, for the Oxley Region Amateur Radio Club. And now to Sydney and the Waverley Amateur Radio Society. As you may have already heard, the Society, along with other Sydney and surrounding clubs and ARNSW, will be hosting the WIA AGM and conference at a location in Sydney around the end of May next year. Final dates are yet to be set by the WIA board. The Society will be seeking assistance from all the Sydney and surrounding clubs in this endeavour in order to make it a success. Letters will soon be sent to all clubs seeking their input and calling for papers for presentation at the technical sessions. 2019 also corresponds with Waverley's centenary year. The June monthly meeting is this Wednesday, the 20th of June, commencing at 7:30pm. At the meeting, Tony VK2KZ will be giving a talk on the planning for the ISS contact with a local school next year. The annual auction is on next month, July the 14th, at the club's premises. Is it a chance to part with some no longer needed equipment, or maybe find that elusive bit of gear you really need? The auction is always a fun day and all are welcome. A small cover fee is charged, which buys you as many cups of tea and coffee during the day as you like. Sausages and drinks are also available during the day from our barbecue to keep your strength up to carry away all that new gear. Gates normally open at around 8:30am, with the auction commencing at 10am. Cars may be driven in to unload prior to the auction and then parked outside in the public car park adjacent. The next Space Special Interest Group meeting is scheduled for this Tuesday, the 19th of June, starting at 7pm. The next Shack Night will be held on Wednesday, the 4th of July, starting at 7:30pm. The next Project Day will be on Saturday, the 7th of July, commencing at around 1:30pm and going through till about 4 or 5pm. As usual, the club is open most Tuesdays for all the retirees, idle rich, and those just skipping work for the day, or others who can just make it along from about 10am to 4pm. The more sessions are continuing on Thursday evenings and Sundays. The next foundation course and assessment weekend being run by the Society is over the weekend of the 15th and 16th of September. Details and booking information can be found on the website in the Education and Training section. Don't forget the club's weekly net on the VK2RMP repeater of 438.1125 MHz with a minus 5.4 MHz offset and a 91.5 Hz CTC-SS tone from 8pm every Monday. There is full information about the Society on its regularly updated website at VK2WI.org. It includes the capacity to renew membership, purchase items, or book and pay for any courses or assessments online. There is also an inquiry form on the site, which is normally actioned within a couple of days. 73s from Eric, VK2VB, Broadcast Publicity Officer. And now to the Manly Warringah Radio Society. This coming Wednesday, the 18th, is lecture night at the club. Details are scarce at this time of writing, but apparently it has to do with transmitting power without wires. perhaps the ghost of Nikola Tesla will be there. Come along on Wednesday evening and find out. For listeners who would like to earn their amateur radio ticket or upgrade their existing license, the Society runs regular one-day training and assessment events. The next one is on Saturday the 7th of July. For more information or to register, please email education@mwrs.org.au. The club is currently testing a new icon. Hang on, I'll get that right. The club is currently testing a new 70cm DMR repeater of 438.400 MHz with a minus 5.4 MHz offset. This is a 3-month trial during which the 70cm D-Star repeater will be offline. VK2RMP is network node 505235 with a colour code of 1. Coverage reports are welcome. So far the repeater has been heard in the Blue Mountains to the west as far south as Liverpool. Huge thanks to Peter VK3WI, who made several trips up from Melbourne to help the club get the repeater up and running. Visit the club's website, which is at www.mwrs.org.au for some information about these and other club projects such as the Web SDR sponsored by ARNSW, the club's YouTube channel VK2WI TV, the club's scouting programs and much more. The Manly Warringah Radio Society meets every Wednesday evening at the First Terry Hills Guides Hall, Beltana Avenue, Terry Hills. Doors open at 7:30pm for an 8pm start, and visitors are always welcome. If you need directions, call into the club's 2-metre repeater on 146.875 MHz or visit the club's website at www.mwrs.org.au for more information. 73s from Richard, VK2SKY, Manly Warringah Radio Society's Publicity Officer. And now just to the north and slightly east of us is the Hornsby and Districts Amateur Radio Club. The next Hadark meeting is on Tuesday the 26th of June. This will be the monthly general meeting and it's at the Mount Colah Community Centre in Pierre Close, Mount Colah, on the eastern side of the railway station. Celebrations for the first direct radio message from UK to Australia, more specifically from Northwest Wales to Warringah, are being planned for September, including a special event called VK100 Marconi, that is VK100 MARCONI. The club runs 3 nets each week. Monday nights at 8pm on the VK2RMP 2-metre repeater, which is on 147.250 MHz. No tone is required, but a 91.5 Hz tone is sent. The Wednesday evening net on 3608.5 kilohertz, I should say, also from 8pm. And Morning Tea with Hadark is on or near 7106 kilohertz from 9am on Fridays. Hadark's website is at www.hadarc.org.au. The club has a group on Facebook which can be found by searching for VK2MA, and is also on Twitter at VK2MA. That was submitted by Julian, VK2YJS, Hadark Publicity Officer.
This is VK2WI nearing the end of tonight's news bulletin. The text version of this bulletin will be available from Monday on the Amateur Radio New South Wales website. Also on this site you can find details of our services, membership and general information about amateur radio. The address is www.arnsw.org.au. This is VK2WI. We now continue with this evening's news.
Okay, and a summary of upcoming events. For the rest of June we have NavShield, a Wyson event on the 23rd and 24th, and the Haddock monthly meeting on the 26th. July, plenty of events. The US Amateur Radio License exams at Bankstown Airport on the 1st, the St George ARS gathering on the 4th, Manly Warringah Radio Society Training and Licensing Day on the 7th, the ORARC monthly general meeting on the 7th, that's the Oxley Region Club, Waverley ARS auction on the 14th, ARNSW Foundation Course and Assessment Weekend 14th and 15th, the Trans-Tasman Low Band Contest on the 21st, the Canberra Region ARC Foundation Course and Exams at Red Hill 21st and 22nd, and the ARNSW Trash and Treasure and Experimenters Group meeting on the 29th. August sees these upcoming events: the St George ARS gathering on the 1st, the Remembrance Day contest on the 11th and 12th, International Lighthouse and Lightship Weekend 18th and 19th, and the Fisher's Coast ARC meeting is on the 29th. Submitting news items. Submit news items for inclusion in our weekly news bulletins. Please email to news, that's NEWS, at arnsw.org.au by the Friday night preceding the broadcast. Audio items can be accepted, but please email in advance to make arrangements. The address again, NEWS at arnsw.org.au. The broadcast roster. Next Sunday morning, your announcer will be Al, VK2OK, and Peter, VK2HC, as engineer. Then in the evening, the announcer will be Eric, VK2EJH, and Peter, VK2BEU, as engineer. That concludes our news for tonight. Your announcer has been Steve, VK2FSLC, and your engineer has been Peter, VK2EMU. Callbacks will be taken shortly. Please call back to the relay station that provided the broadcast to you. On the Mount Bindo repeater, VK2RDX, callbacks will be taken shortly, and the numbers will be relayed to VK2WI. Here at VK2WI, we will listen for callbacks for those who took our broadcast directly from the announcer's booth. I will let you know my order fairly shortly. And in the engineering booth, Peter will be taking the callbacks on VHF and UHF, and he will advise you of the order. All the best from the broadcast team here at VK2WI. Have a great week, and thank you for listening.